Here we go. So, who are we looking at here? This is Bujin and Aiza. Okay, so they are having their first match for the tournament here.
Yeah, and Bujin has withdrawn from the tournament, so this is strictly an exhibition match.
Alright, so let's take a look. Alright, so Argent Squire is going to be the first thing down on the table. This is the first thing we're seeing. Now we're into some games here. Okay, so Hunter versus Rogue. Rogue is really going to have to watch out for some of that typical zoo type Hunter action. And I shouldn't say zoo, but you know, the very aggressive Hunter. That's obviously something that most of us will be no stranger to for anybody who ever plays on the ladder. And there's going to be very little exception here, as it's very common to see that aggressive type having a lot of the common cards. So Bujin's able to do a little bit of control right away here with... Sorry, Aiza is able to do a little bit of control here, and Bujin is the Hunter. I'm a little thrown off there. I'm very used to Bujin playing Rogue, so Aiza is able to do a little bit of control against Bujin, the Rogue with that dagger there. Now the question is going to be,
I wonder.
Where is... Okay, a Glaivazuka in a Hunter deck, and where is he going to be using that thing? Alright, so now we're looking at Aiza, and he's throwing down a Harvest Golem on the table. Well, that's a pretty straightforward play, and I'm thinking we're going to not see him attack to the face this turn. That's all fine and dandy. Okay, so now you've got a little bit of option. Do you want to throw down an Undertaker at this stage of the game? Undertaker's gonna die pretty quickly, but no, I don't think you really want to do it. You could throw down an Undertaker and then a Glaivazuka to beef it up just a little bit, but even that's not gonna help you a whole lot. There's just not a whole lot of really outstanding options for the Hunter at this particular point. Glaivazuka alone works. Use that to take out the shield on the Argent Squire, and here we go. Okay, so a Loot Hoarder coming to join the party. Alright, so a little bit of a role reversal here. We're seeing a bit of a swarm of minions and some early aggro plays coming out of the Rogue player as opposed to coming from the Hunter player. So that's a bit of an interesting twist there. Okay, so the Mad Scientist coming to join the party, and is that what's going to come out? I mean, some secrets would be really nice at this point.
I wonder.
Okay. So there you go. That owl does end up putting the silence down on the Harvest Golem there. Get rid of that death rattle for him. So the attack right into the Argent Squire, that's a one-for-one trade with a Glaivazuka. That's some pretty reasonable value coming out of Argent Squire, and Deadly Shot takes out the minion that he wanted it to. Alright. So that knife, I think... Oh no, it's going to be a backstab to take out the owl. Alright. Doesn't want to use the knife for that, just wants to get some more card usage out of there. And, ooh, that is a powerful, powerful deckhand there that's going to be swinging right in this turn with his charge. Okay. Well, looks from, it might be a little too early to call the game just yet, but just from the looks of it, Bujin might not have to voluntarily withdraw from this tournament. Okay, so here we go. You're the Hunter. You're facing 8 damage that you can see. Gonna bring you down to 3 life. I think you have to play a Mad Scientist. Although if you drop the... You might just have to go Undertaker, Mad Scientist. You got a kill command at some point.
Job's done.
So yeah, Mad Scientist and then the kill command. That's kind of your only choice. Oh, sorry, it wasn't 8 damage that you're seeing. It was 11 damage that he was seeing. My bad. Forgot that the knife had a +3 attack on it from that sharp sword oil. Oof. This is just getting ugly right now for Bujin. Well, I think we're going to be able to pretty safely call this the first loss for this particular tournament. First loss in Bujin's favor. I think we're going to be okay, and we are seeing a message from Chaos that he is going to be starting in on his game right away. So that's good. We'll be able to switch over to Chaos's game. Okay, this looks very, very promising. Very promising for the Rogue. I mean, ooh, much too little too late for the Hunter. He's just going to be able to, unless he gets some taunts down on the table immediately, the Rogue is just going to be able to pick away at face to deal with that. I mean, even if he drops Unleash the Hounds and takes these minions out, still only 2 turns until he doesn't even have to do it that way. Of course, as soon as that Leper Gnome dies, he's dead, so he knows that. And that is the end of the game. So we'll be able to switch over to Chaos's game is what I think will be happening next. So Proto, tell me if I'm wrong about that.
You were 100% wrong.
Okay, we are not switching to Chaos's game. We're switching to another game instead.
We're going to be going into Ziplin's game. Just take a second to get that loaded up.
Perfect.
What'd you think about that first match there, Niska?
I thought that was I would say a fairly typical first match. I mean, not a whole lot of outstanding surprises. Some fairly regular, you know, a lot of plays that you would expect. Not a great hand for Bujin there to start. I mean, he really didn't have much to do at the beginning.
Actually, we are going to go to Chaos's game here.
Okay, we're going to jump in on Chaos's game. And, Proto, just while this loads up... Oh, we're already loading into turn 4. So is this the first match on the ladder or the second match on the ladder for these two?
This is the second round, but the first match for both.
Okay, so they both kind of had a bye into that second round there. So here we are looking at... Okay, Hunter versus Hunter, with Chaos down in life, but kind of up in board presence, not necessarily. Proto, let's see if we can see Missilin's hand and just get an idea with what he's looking at. I don't know if he's added or not. If we'll
Not yet.
Not yet. So, again, folks, if anybody out there has the option at all, please be sure to accept any friend requests from the account ESBU. Okay. So if ESBU says, hey, I want to be your friend, that would be our tournament coordinator saying, I want to show your match in the stream. So please do that. Okay, Harvest Golem, and yeah, that's a pretty good use of the owls, I would have to say right there, because that Haunted Creeper is going to die quickly and get some serious card draw value out of that Cult Master, so you're definitely going to want to... Oh, here we go. It looks like Missilin heard me. Alright, so now we get to see both hands, and ooh, that piloted Shredder is going to be able... And another Cult Master. So there's some serious prizes in store for Chaos with this one. So piloted Shredder right now, and let's just see what he does with that Cult Master. Now I wonder what that secret is. We'll have to wait and see. I wonder, actually, Prototype, if you get the opportunity, I don't know if you can mouse over the secret to see what that is or not, but... It's an explosive trap. Look at that. That's going to come in handy. That's going to come in very handy. Okay, so a Cult Master, and I think the right play to do is going to be to... I think in this case, you drop the Cult Master, and then you're going to want to send one of your spiders into that Golem, so you get a card out of it. Then you can drop your Owl against the Tink Master, and that Technician, Mechanic, whatever the heck that guy is there. I believe he's the Tink Tinkertown Technician, I think that's what that card is. But if you silence that thing, you're going to be able to trade a spider and a clockwork gnome into it, get 2 cards out of that trade. And then, yes, of course, this piloted shredder can still take out the Leok. I mean, you're sitting well with that, so he's thinking about it. I'm not sure if that's the play that he wants to do or not, but I think it's well worth it. I mean, you're getting all those cards back, so... Alright! So it looks like Misslin is going to take that trade and just give an absolutely commanding board presence for himself. And bear in mind, he still has that explosive shot on the table as a little bit of backup insurance. Now that's going to be less effective this late in the game, but you know, it never hurts. You know, 2 damage to face, 2 damage to minions. Okay, so he's just totally leaving the Yeti on the board because, of course, he's just able to freeze it like that. Down to 3. Greetings, traveler. Well, I think we know what that means. Oh! Fall on sword. So there's the game. Chaos out of the tournament. Misslin moves on to round 3. So Prototype, I don't know if you have a chance to show us the ladder here and just kind of see where we're at before we get into our next game. So what we're looking at here is some people already moving on into that 3rd bracket. Misslin will be one of those people. They'll be able to update that on the site themselves fairly quickly here. So once you have your match done, go ahead and just report that on the challenge site, and we can just keep that going. We'll have plenty of opportunity here to be able to get some people into some matches with everybody joining the ESBU cast, and be able to check some of these new matches out, get some new faces on the stream. That'll be exciting.
Alright, next guy, we're going to go into match number T here, if I can get it set up. Looks like they're just about ready to begin.
Okay, so who are we looking at?
It's right on the top of the list there.
The Universal, and what is that? I can't even decipher those characters. It's pretty small on my screen, but...
He's Korean, actually.
Well, that would also explain why I can't decipher those characters. I definitely have to brush up on my Korean. But there's about 29 other languages on the list of brushing up ahead of that one. So, you know.
In the meantime, we're just going to take a peek at, while we're waiting, one of the players from the first match here.
Perfect. So this is the middle of a game from the first matchup while we wait for that one to start. Oh, this will be the second round. This is Aiza who faced off against Bujin that we saw. Aiza with that rogue deck, and seems to be faring reasonably well for him so far. Okay. One defenseless hunter so far. Piloted Shredder down on the board, and that thing... Okay, so we'll just have to see if he wants to trade his Auto Barber into it. I would assume that he wants to... Well, it looks like he wants to use his Deadly Poison to take care of it and leave the Auto Barber to clean up whatever's left over afterwards. So he's going to take 4 to face for that, and yep, that's going to work very handily for him to be able to take out that Stone Splitter Rockjaw Trog. With a solo Leper Gnome on table and a 3/1 dagger in hand, a Harvest Golem comes to join the party and a Loot Hoarder. So a couple more items on the board. Now, does he have a silence? There is no silence. So he's going to have to figure out a way to deal with that Harvest Golem. Or just ignore it completely. That works too. And he's going to go right to face with this. Oh, this is an aggressive play. I like it. It's a little uncharacteristic rogue. Okay, and an Argent Squire. For a second, I thought he was going to end turn before daggering up, but little unorthodox rogue play style. Not something you see a whole lot of. Is the very aggressive rogue style. That's alright. Oh, we've got them both in now. Okay, so this is at the second stage on the ladder again. Hunter coming right back, turning the table a little bit here, doing some board clear of his own, and just really getting aggressive with that Unleash the Hounds. Just getting very, very aggressive plays against the rogue here, but that is a big 6-4 knife, 5-4 knife, sorry. But is it going to be enough?
Well played.
So 14. Oh, with those 2 kill commands and 1 doggy on the board, that's going to be enough to finish off Aiza, which is, I mean, this is good timing on Kamajon, because Aiza had, I'm very confident that he had lethal next turn. I mean, 8 damage, assuming he had enough mana to play any card that came into his hand and combo his Eviscerate, he would have had lethal next turn. So, good game, comes right down to the wire, 1 turn to go. Alright, so he's moving on. Kamajon is moving on into the next match, and Proto, do you know if we're able to get in on that match between the Universe and whoever? We'll call him whomever.
Our mysterious Korean friend. Yeah, I'm actually just coordinating with the 2 of them. They're both having extreme difficulties adding each other. So, not sure what the holdup is here, but we're working on it.
Okay, so we should have that one up and running in a little bit. Do we want to get into another match in the meantime, or just wait on those guys?
We are just going to try to wait on them here for a second.
Perfect. So we'll just have just a moment or two. I'm just going to check out the Twitch channel and make sure there's no major questions here.
While we're waiting, we're just going to peek in on Mislin here from the last game, see how he's making out.
Okay, well, enough of the Twitch channel for me. It's back to work. Morpheus! Mislin! Guys! Mislin's fighting Morpheus! This is perfect. Okay, so, for all you Matrix fans out there. What are we looking at? Hunter versus Hunter. Man, there's a lot of Hunters in this tournament. Well, a lot of Hunters that we're seeing.
Now, earlier on, there was a lot of discussion about how this tournament would basically devolve into a Mage versus Hunter. And so far, that's pretty accurate description. What do you think about the new cards in this format, Nice Guy?
I think that the new cards in this format... There's a lot of how the new cards play into the decks, not necessarily always the class-specific cards themselves, because so far I'm really not seeing a whole lot for class-specific cards. You know, I don't know how the tournament's going to play out in the end here. Definitely we're seeing a lot of these new cards come into play. I don't know how this is all going to play out in the end, but, I mean, it'd be interesting to see a little more deck innovation kind of take a more predominant place in the tournament and go a little further than just people sort of necessarily reinterpreting or just recycling material that we've already seen on the ladder. That's kind of what we like to see on the tournament, or just out of these tournaments in general. But I mean, if the deck works, then you want to use it. So we're seeing some mild variance on the sort of Hunter mech. Is, you know, people are saying Warlock Zoo and then Mage and Hunter mech decks, and certainly, I mean, that's a fair bit of what we're seeing so far. But well, I mean, that match with that was an aggro rogue that we just saw go extremely well against the hunter, and would have had him next turn if he hadn't had double kill command in his hand. So that's kind of, I don't want to call it blind luck, because it's not fair to say that somebody won through blind luck, but I mean, he had the cards in hand to be able to handle that one, and that's kind of what it came down to. There's obviously a lot of good plays that led up to it, but I don't necessarily know that it's a simple matter of, oh, these are the decks that fare good on ladder that don't use a lot of rares, so they're just going to fare good here, because, well, we don't know what the meta is going to be like here. So there's my long-winded answer for that question. We're seeing still a very serious trade of table presence between Morpheus and Missilin, going back and forth. Still waiting to see when we'll get into that other game between the universe and his friend. But in the meantime, we've got Missilin pretty well seated on the board here. I mean, that Cult Master is going to be able to keep him up on cards. He's got the Unleash the Hounds in hand to if his opponent spams the board, and he's also got the kill command, just an easy backup to be able to take care of any larger minions. And that secret sitting there, I'm not sure what it is at the moment, but that secret's definitely going to be able to help him out, most likely whatever it is. Okay, so an Ironbeak Owl. I was kind of wondering if that's what was going to happen to that Cult Master. Ooh, and now it's a 4/3 taunted Ironbeak Owl, so unless he wants to, yeah, Ironbeak it himself, then that just takes that right down, and he's going to be able to get a couple of cards out of these. Ooh, 3 cards. Sorry. That Cult Master was silenced. My bad. No card exchange for the trading in the minions there. I forgot that Cult Master had been silenced for a moment. But no cards out of it, but still very strong board presence and a clear lethal next turn. I mean, even if Morpheus is able to clear the table at this point, Missilin's still, Morpheus doesn't know this, of course, but Missilin's still holding 7 damage just between his hero ability and kill command. Even if he clears his entire board, he is going to be able... Okay, well, that's just seals the deal right there, because if he just played Unleash the Hounds, he'd still get 1 doggy for it and be able to kill command. But this does it. Tack in. I'd like to see him play Unleash the Hounds and kill him with the 1 dog. That would just be fun. But no, he's just going to kill command, and that'll do it. Okay, so Missilin moving up 1 more in the ladder here. Seeing a few of the same players. It's kind of nice to be able to follow some of the same people throughout these. Alright, so we should be able to see before too long here what our next game is going to be able to look like. Prototype, do you know if what we would have in store for our next game yet?
No, we don't. I'm dealing with a number of issues at the moment, nice guy. So.
Okay, so we've got a few things going on, so we'll just take a short break and take a look at the ladder here, if we could, while we're just waiting for some people to queue up into their next games. So Blood Merid, J Freak 7, Sleeping, Epic Pants. Epic Pants, that's an awesome name. Pants or go home. There you go. Okay, so looks like the universe lost his match. We weren't able to get in on viewing that one, regrettably. There was some difficulties there, but hopefully we'll get in on viewing some of these other ones. Wonder what Azai is up to. Or Aiza, sorry. So this is a little bit of a new experience here for us. Normally we've been very reliant on some outside factors. We're still reliant on a few outside factors, but we've been very reliant on outside factors to be able to get the stream up and running, and it's been tremendously difficult. And of course, you know, there are some factors here, and there's always a few difficulties here and there with getting games to watch, but normally we've had some very unique challenges in being able to get some of these games to watch and up and running. This time, of course, a little bit less difficulty there, but it's a whole new format to us, and so we're just getting used to running the tournament in a little bit of a different way here. So please bear with us while we get some of these things sorted out. We're well into this tournament here, and we are checking out Sleeping and Epic Pants. This game is still not over yet. I don't know what that secret is for the hunter. Might make all the difference in the world. But this is a little too close to call at this point. So what are we looking at? An explosive trap, and how much damage is that? What are we looking at on the board here? Is that enough? Oh, Boulder Fist Ogre, thank you, Sleeping. Okay, so this is what I've been hoping to see all night, all half hour that we've been looking at this. So now that we're watching Sleeping, Proto, if we can follow him a little bit through some of these matches, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think we'll pick him up for the next game here.
Yeah, I'd love to see him play a game. So this is kind of exactly what I'm talking about. Boulder Fist Ogre has just been a fan favorite right throughout these tournaments, and it is something you just never see on ladder. That is not a useful card ever, and so many people run it in these decks because it's just one of the most powerful minions out there. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen a Force Tank Max yet. Like I've mentioned, you know, the meta has changed so much, and Force Tank Max is a card that, in my experience, has fared extremely well in Arena very often. It's a totally valid card here to play, and it is a very, very powerful card for a late game scenario with, you know, what do you kind of do about it? Well, there's Sheep and Hex and a couple of, you know, assassinate board clear type things, but there's only a handful of those out there. I mean, every class has their own, of course, but there's only so many of them to put into a deck. Now, we're going to have to wait a little while before we get into a match with Sleeping, because this is going to take us some time. We're still waiting on, let's see, we're waiting on Deathmon and Landjagger to finish their match, and then the winner of that is going to have to fight LP Fan for Life, and then the winner of that is going to have to go on to fight Sleeping. So that's going to be a few matches away. So I think we'll let Sleeping just kind of chill out for a little bit, and we'll let Sleep. That's really? Did that just happen? That's very interesting. My wife is texting me. I'm getting a message on my computer saying that. This is always good to say on stream, but a job that I applied for, I have a message about. So that's always encouraging. Anyways.
Way to go, nice guy. We're all rooting for you.
Right in the middle of the tournament. Oh yeah, we just use a job offer. Maybe connects us once. I mean, some group wants me to cast for them. Nobody knows who it is. Thank goodness nobody local is watching this, or if they are, shh, you didn't hear anything. Alright, so we're looking at Isa again versus Loafster. Okay, so, wow, and that is a good opener here for Isa. Okay, so Rogue versus, I think just with some of these naysayers about, you know, Hunter and Mage Zoo, Zoo and Hunter Mage Hunter Mech. Gosh, if I could sort these things out in my brain, it would be a miracle. I think I'm just going to get happy every time I'm seeing people win as not one of those. Call it personal bias, call it what you will, but I'm loving this deck that Isa has built here. It's so weird, and it's so unorthodox, and I mean, this guy, I'm thinking he put some good amount of time into this beforehand, so a lot of options. And look at the mana curve here for just an early game play. He's just got so many options. I would like to see, I would think you would want to go Wolf Rider and just keep the pressure on this guy right now. Looks like we're able to get... Are we getting a second view? Yep, we are getting Loafster in on this too. And there's a Boulder Fist Ogre, that fan favorite we were talking about again. Blessing of Kings, Sinjin Shieldmaster, Piloted Shredder. Well, Piloted Shredder is a very common card, and Sinjin Shieldmaster is far from rare. Although less common these days since GVG has come out. I'm kind of thinking that the Sinjin's the one you want to play right now. You have to do something to slow your opponent down a little bit and do a little bit of board clear, and that seems like it's going to be the most effective way to do that. I mean, you've got the value to trade 2 for 1 here with it. But let's just see what he does. Loafster thinking it through, and yeah, he is going to go for the Sinjin. I think I myself like that play best. Okay, so a Wolf Rider going into Isa's hand, but he's gonna sap. I was wondering about that. I mean, that sap could be very, very worthwhile to save for later on. I think myself... Oh, he's at 4 mana. He doesn't have enough to do that. Never mind. Okay. So now, Loafster's gonna have to respond with something. Don't know that Avenge is gonna do a whole lot of good right now. He doesn't have the board presence for it. I mean, you could Humility on the Wolf Rider, but that's just not helping anybody. I think maybe a Sinjin and an Argent Squire is kind of your best play. Sucks to have to just drop that mana again, but you know, you're in the same situation you were in last time. What's changed? You have 1 more mana, but you have a 1 mana drop minion as well. But no, he's going to go for the Piloted Shredder instead. I don't know if he's hoping that his opponent trades, or he's going to look to do some trades, or even go face himself. But definitely looking to turn some things around with that. Now Isa with Sprint. And Sprint, there's another card you never see, but serious value, because card draw is always a bit of a concern in, I mean, in these tournaments. The Acolyte of Pain is helpful as long as you have a decent trigger for it, which you don't always have. So card draw can certainly be a problem in a lot of decks here. What we're looking at is, what's he going to play? That Auto Barber really wouldn't be a bad play right now. Beef up his weapon just a little bit, but I don't know if that's gonna help him a whole lot. I suppose I think the first thing you want to do is launch your Wolf Rider into that. I would think launch your Wolf Rider into that Piloted Shredder and see what kind of minion pops out the other side. But no, he is just going to go to face with this one. Another Wolf Rider, perhaps. I mean, if he's going to be aggressive, you might as well go all in. Oh, he's saving it. He's saving 3 mana. I wonder what he's expecting his opponent to do. That felt like a panic play to me. Leaving 3 mana sitting there with that kind of hand. I mean, at least drop the Argent Squire. I don't know. I could see not dropping the Auto Barber, but maybe he's keeping the Wolf Rider and the Eviscerate in hand to do a 7 damage pop at the end. That could be it, because I doubt that Loafster knows it, but he is facing lethal. If he doesn't kill that Auto Barber or, you know, get this taunt out on the table, now Avenge is a good play. That's a good play right now. Oh! Second Eviscerate. Ooh, that's dangerous. That's really dangerous. You know what? You know what he wants to do? You want to attack, you want to face tank that Sinjin, then you want to destroy your Auto Barber on it, because who cares anymore. Drop your Wolf Rider on the table. Throw it right into his face. Don't worry about any of the consequences, because next turn you can just double Eviscerate right to face. So unless he has a heal in hand, this is a very viable play. And it looks like that's the one he's going for. There's definitely some risk involved in this, but Okay, so we'll have to see how this one turns out. That piloted shredder, I think, is just going to be really going for face, but oh my, you know. Loafster just doesn't have any answers right now. He doesn't have the cards to win it, so that's going to be the game. He doesn't... he probably has a sneaking suspicion, but he doesn't quite know that he's lost yet, but that is the end of dog racing for Loafster. Okay. So, Avenge out on the table. Alright, the Rogue is going to finish this game off. There's another piloted Shredder. Shredder's all over the place. I'd be surprised to see if there was any decks out there without a pair of piloted Shredders in them. I mean, that card just has so much value. Oh my gosh, and a Cold Blood. just to throw it in there. I mean, you could have Auto Barber. Oh, there's some serious BM opportunities here. Auto Barber, attack that, and your Argent Squire double eviscerate. Alright, Isa takes the game. Okay, good on you. Loafster is knocked out of the tournament. Isa is moving on to, I do believe, puts him into the quarterfinals. If I am correct about that. Proto, maybe you can correct me if you have a chance to glance at the ladder here. I'm not sure if you do or not yourself, to see where Isa is on it and if he is in fact in the quarterfinals or not. But we are into a game now we're back on to Misslin and Trummy, so I think this is another quarterfinals match. I could be wrong about that. But this game is... Oh, okay, yeah, we're into the quarterfinals there. Okay. So what are we looking at here? Let's take this all in. We have Misslin on the stream so we can see what he's doing, and whoo, he is making some devastatingly powerful minions that are just going to finish his opponent immediately. That was the shortest watch of a game we have seen yet. But good on you, Misslin. He is moving forward in this tournament. Okay, so we'll have to see if we've got another match queued up and who is playing and who's playing where.
We're just going to have a bit of delay here, Nesca, while I find another match. We're going to have to drop back down a round and see if we can pick up one of the top leaders in the bottom ranks.
That is quite alright. We can certainly do that.
And we got one. We're going to go into match AQ here.
Job's done.
Okay. Silver Spud and Picard.
I wonder if that's Captain Picard.
I do believe that's who it is. I'm quite confident that we have
I'm pretty sure
the
that
future.
you're going to call him that.
Definitely Captain Picard playing. Okay, so this is actually the first mage we've seen on stream yet. I don't know how many people are playing mage in the tournament, but this is the first one that we have seen. And against a warrior, I wonder what style of warrior it is. Okay, so Tinkertown Technician, pair of them in the hand. So this is definitely that kind of mech type that we were talking about a little earlier. Water Elemental. Now there's a good value minion that you're going to want to throw into just about, well, most mage decks out there, but they definitely being in the regulations for this tournament. That's a nice card to throw in there. Polymorph, a little bit of added insurance. This guy has not a huge amount of threat, Picard, but definitely a lot of insurance in his hand with the Frostbolt, the Polymorph, and the Anti-Heal Bot. I don't think that those technicians are going to be getting their battle cry anytime soon unless he draws into some sort of other mech, because that would be quite the waste of a heal for the heal bot there. Looks like we'll be able to see the warrior's hand now. Okay, so this warrior is running a Core Hound. Now there's a card you never see. Okay, interesting. Very interesting here. Alright, mirror image. I think the mirror image and ping probably the Dread Corsair is most likely the best play here. Unless you want to just get that Technician out on the table. Frostbolt works, obviously. But yeah, he's going to do... Sorry, not mirror image, mirror entity. I correct myself there. That mirror entity is definitely going to be a useful play right now. I mean, for a mid-game play, I'm thinking we'll see something like that Korkron, perhaps. Oh, what? Oh, interesting. I think that Silver Spud really expected that to be a mirror entity. He weighed the I think he weighed the probabilities of which mage secrets are still viable in this tournament type, and he came out ahead on that one, that's for sure. What mage secrets are there that are common? Mirror entity. I think there's one more. Yes, Ice Block.
Also,
no,
Duplicate
Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier. Oh, and
well.
Duplicate. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's from the Nax set, but it is a white gem. You're right. Okay, so Korkron, is that going to take out a Tinkertown Technician, or? Sure is. Do we see armor up? Do we see an axe? I think axe is I don't think you need any more armor right now, and having an axe on board with that mech warper out is a really handy thing. I mean, obviously you can't do anything with it this turn, but just to have the axe in play. Well, maybe he's trying to play around a potential acidic swamp ooze, but how long are you going to try and play around that? I'm not sure why he wouldn't play the axe, but, well, maybe he's trying to later on play an illegal shield slam. Arcane Intellect is going to bring another Arcane Intellect and a Fireball into this business. Okay. Mech Warrior coming out of stealth. Tinkertown Technician gets the bonus. Okay, so do we see a cycle now for Silver Spud from that engineer? We do. Get a little card draw, and there's another Weaponsmith. Okay, maybe that's why he chose not to play the Fiery War Axe. But he's using it now anyways, so I clearly have no idea what Silver Spud is thinking. He and I are not running on the same wavelength whatsoever. He's just going to armor up and pass turn, though. That's going to go right over to Picard, who I'm guessing is going to want to use an Arcane Intellect at this point. Not sure what the... there we go. Oh, maybe a Snow Chugger. Although I think if you're going to do that, you might as well Arcane Intellect in addition, which means you just want to Arcane Intellect first. Okay. Yeah, there's the Duplicate secret. So we'll have to see how Silver Spud responds to that, if he's going to try and play around another mirror entity and see about baiting it out. If he plays it, which he doesn't this turn. Okay, so it's going to be Snow Chugger or Bust. Or Whirling Blades. Okay, he just wants to... He's just getting greedy. He just wants to beef up that mana worm. Alright. Shield block slows the game down, but doesn't necessarily win you a whole bunch. And he's got a reasonable hand here, Silver Spud does, so I don't think he really needs to worry too much about slowing the game down and about getting the card draw out of it. He's gonna do it anyways, but how does he want to deal with this Technician? Wow. Okay. And there goes the Execute. That's... Alright. That's something that he just did. Mana Worm Duplicate. Oh, that's a delightful target for Duplicate. Now, do you think he's going to play the Snow Chugger? That's kind of the real question that I'm having. It's really tough. I play a lot of Mage myself, and it's really tough when you're dropping your Duplicate because you want to make sure that you duplicate the right minion, and Snow Chugger is not the one you want to duplicate. Having a couple of Mana Worms in hand, especially, you know, mid-game where you're going to be throwing some spells out, not a bad idea because it just costs nothing to drop them down, and then you really get a little bit of opportunity to get some potentially really good value out of them, and something that started with just one card turns into trading for, you know, maybe a couple more, or trading for a very high value minion out of a 1-drop. But Silver Spud is going to go... Ooh, that's a Warsong Commander, and that's going to give charge to his Arathi Weaponsmiths if he wants to do it, or a Raging Worgen. That'll trade nicely. But then, of course, it'll turn into 2 more Mana Worms. Now, unless that Warsong Commander gets taken care of right away, Picard's going to have to play his hand very wisely here with those Mana Worms, because if he drops them, that makes a delightful target for the Enraged Worgen to go after. Now, of course, Picard doesn't know there's an Enraged Worgen, a Raging Worgen in Silver Spud's hand, so we'll have to see what the end result of that is. If he's... I would think he would want to drop a second Mana Worm here, and maybe a Snow Chugger as well, because why not? But I don't see him putting any spells down this turn. I mean, a Fireball and Polymorph, like, a Warsong Commander is a terrible target for those, unless you really have to, or you're very scared of what your opponent has in hand. But that's not a very good value trade there. I'm kind of thinking he's going to save him up. Maybe drop the Mana Worm this turn, maybe save it. No, he's going to save the Mana Worm. So that Worgen is just... He's going to definitely have his way with this right now. I'm thinking that's the first thing that we'll see dropped, is the Worgen come down. Oh, an Arathi Weaponsmith. Well, is he going to attack first? That was a bit of a waste of a weapon. Okay, so the Raging Worgen could have at least hit face with the weapon. Oh well. Raging Worgen is going to attack in and deal 4 more damage. Oh man, he just walked away from 1 durability on the weapon there. That's not ideal, that's for sure. Okay, so Spider Tank is the next thing that we're going to see. Interesting. Well, I wonder if this is time to do an Antique Heal Bot. I mean, yeah, well, a Fireball. That's not a bad target for it, because you can't afford to just be taking 8 damage next turn. Sucks to have to deal 6 damage to something that has 2 health, but you just can't afford to sit around and wait for that. So now we are going to see, I've been waiting for this one, Core Hound with charge, and he has 2 of them in hand. Oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. that antique heal bot is going to have to make an appearance after this. Absolutely. And even at that rate, that's only going to go so far. Picard's going to have to trade both his minions in to kill that core hound. Well, he'll be able to fireball it, but if he doesn't get a taunt out on the board, which he doesn't have, okay, so he'll polymorph it. I mean, he's got ways to deal with it, but he is in a whole lot of trouble right now. Picard is, because we're going to see another 11-5 core hound come out this turn, I think. I see no reason to wait around for it unless he really wants to try and do some board clear, but with what he's got, there's not a lot of board clear to happen right now. He's going to go face the sheep, and yeah, here comes... He's thinking about it. I think you go in with the core hound and do the charge. No! He's not going to. I would have liked to see the core hound in on the charge. Really put the pressure on your opponent to make that trade. Now you're kind of just giving Picard the opportunity to get some taunts on the board and really stall you out more. So he's trying to whittle him away, but Silver Spud's trying to whittle Picard away in order to burst down for the core hound win. That Harpy will definitely help him do that. Oh, Harpy with charge. How much damage is that? That's 12 damage. Oh my gosh! That's it! Do it! Do it, Silver Spud! Please tell me you see what's happening here. Oh my goodness.
For the love of everything that's decent.
I was just about to say, Prototype, are you seeing this? He's oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm so
Fail.
sad right now. I'm so sad for Silver Spud. He could have just won the game. And oh, Picard has a taunt. Oh, the Twitch chat's gonna go nuts over this one. They're gonna have a heyday with this. Oh my gosh. Wow. I guess War Song Commander, Cruel Taskmaster, your War Song Commander, and then kill the taunt with your Cruel Taskmaster. Oh, the real play is to go back in time and play charge on your Wind Fury Harpy. Okay, so you don't have a whole lot of choice beyond this, and you might even have to think about executing that spider tank at this point. Okay, he's gonna do this so he can execute the... Yeah, that makes sense. Execute the Mana Worm. And then trade your Cruel Taskmaster into the Frostwolf Grunt. Get rid of that taunt. He's got to find a way to deal a damage. Damage. But he's just not having any luck with it. And Picard is really just slowly but really turning this game around. He's going to drop everything this turn? No, Fireball. I wouldn't think he would drop the Fireball. Okay, he's saving it. He's just putting the Yeti out. He's playing it safe. Oh my gosh, Silver Spud, for the love of everything, just play the Core Hound with the charge while there's no taunt on the board. Your opponent will be at 1. You're not helping your situation by not playing it.
I think in this case, Nice Guy, he's probably saving it for a guaranteed kill. Like, he's still got that 1 damage to do, and there's no way of doing it. Although I think looks like he's going to agree with you. And
well, he has no way of doing it, but I mean, if he gets the opportunity to play the Core Hound, Picard suddenly just has a taunt on the board, well, then the Core Hound does just completely useless. But he missed lethal with the Harpy, and Picard won the game from it. He turned it around. Wow. That's a real shame for that one. Huh. But 2 more minutes and we're going to see this come up on the Twitch chat. Oh my goodness.
So that was game AU. I think we're going to try to get into one of these top games here. I'm just going to do a bracket refresh.
Alright. So where are we looking on the ladder here? We don't have anybody down to semifinals yet, do we?
Not yet.
That AV, is that a quarterfinal match or a semifinal match? That's a semifinal match. We do have... Huh. And Micklin coming in too. Okay, so who are we looking at here? Getting into the middle of a game. Ah, Sleeping's into his next game now. Okay. So, this is one that I'm very curious to see. I really have wanted to see how... We don't see a lot of Druid in this format necessarily, so I'm really curious to see how this one plays out. Alright, it's turn 7 and not a whole lot has happened. We don't know how many cards Cicada has in his hand right now.
Just a moment, nice guy. He's coming in now.
Oh, perfect. We'll be able to see that right away here. Okay, ooh, 4 cards in hand. This is a pretty good situation for Sleeping. Proto, do you swipe the Technician, and then Wrath the Spider? Or the other way around?
Yeah, I think either way.
I think that works. I mean, it gives you a nice board clear.
I mean, he got the mech out of the way, which is the important part of that play, right?
Let's see here. Yeah, Wrath it down. He doesn't quite have the mana for a Direwolf Alpha and Hero Power to take it out, so he needs to use a different card to do it. That's alright. I don't think we're going to see a true Silver Champion taking out a Haunted Creeper. That seems like a very unlikely play to me. Would you... Do you play a Spectral Knight or a Boulder Fist Ogre? I don't think you want to attack face for 4. That doesn't seem like a great play to me. I would be inclined to go with a Spectral Knight. Being the only thing on the board, it seems like it's just going to be a little better protected, but he is going to go for the Boulder Fist Ogre. Maybe he's trying to see what his opponent has for removal. Not sure. Maybe he just wants to have the bigger body on the board. There's a few different ways to look at it. But Sleeping is going to have to do an answer to that, and what is he going to do to answer it? A Boulder Fist of his own? That works. Followed up with a Haunted Creeper. Okay, so it's a pretty...
Can't go wrong with a Boulder Fist and a couple of spiders on the board, nice guy.
Well, now that he was able to take out the dude with the spider, that Boulder Fist Ogre... Cicada, doesn't have a good answer for the Boulder Fist Ogre, except the Consecrate, which is okay. It's going to leave a lot of spiders on the board, is the thing. You're still, like, that's 4 spiders left over.
Yeah, I mean, really, he should try to get the spiders down and use the Consecrate to clean them up, but he's got a few different plays here, so we'll see how he goes. I mean, the Humility is definitely going to be his ace in the hole here, and we'll see how he does.
Humility really wouldn't be a bad idea to just drop on that Boulder Fist Ogre right now, and then... I don't know, if you just go face with your own? And it looks like he's going to do that. What's the ogre going to attack, though, is the question.
Reporting for duty.
I mean, he could do 10 damage to face right now. He's
I
going to
think
save
he
his
made
true silver
the
champion.
right play,
That's
actually,
a good
there.
choice. I think what he's trying to do here is he really wants to pop those spiders and then do his consecrate. And if he can pull that off, like on his next turn, he can very easily pull that off. Wouldn't be a bad idea to true silver champion the one spider and then send your dude into the other spider, send your Boulder Fist Ogre into his Boulder Fist Ogre, and then consecrate and just clear the whole board, and you're still left in a very good situation. But either way, you wouldn't even have to attack with your True Silver Champion into the spiders. You could do it with your Spectral Knight. Either way, this Direwolf, he looks to me like Sleeping is preparing to take out a Spectral Knight, or... Okay, no, he's preparing to take out a Boulder Fist Ogre. That's quite the way of doing it, too. And he is going to go ahead and take out the dude. Good play there. I'm thinking at this point, likely 3 damage to face. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is interesting now. So Consecrate definitely works. If you're going to do that, you definitely want to pop the other spider first. The best way to do that, probably just with your Spectral Knight. I'm thinking Spectral Knight into the spider, Consecrate is probably your best play at this point. That's going to drop that Boulder Fist Ogre back down to a 1. It'll be a 1/5 after that's done. You can play your mini-bot and a dude.
Mini-bot and a dude. It's my Friday night, man.
Oh, there's some places we could go with that. Oh my.
What kind of places, Nick?
Oh,
all the places?
I missed it. I missed it. I missed the Twitch chat. Yeah.
No, they were publicly shaming Silver Spud there for his mistake.
Oh, I missed it all.
Poor guy. We were all rooting for him too.
You know, I see somebody miss lethal in every tournament that we do. It's a damn shame, and it's a lot easier when I don't have a timer counting down on me to just sit back and say, oh hey, do this play. But
and there's that Consecrate we were waiting for, Nitka.
Yep, looks like Cicada decided to do that in the end, and that's a really effective board clear. He's got a very good board presence now, so Leaping's going to have to work pretty hard to turn this one around. He's going to do a little bit of cycle. That Zombie Chow is a dead card in hand right now. This is really not the time that you want to play your Cult Master, so I'm thinking it's a... Do you want to drop your Yeti and your Harvest Golem, or maybe just one of them? I would think you drop the Yeti and then Hero Power. That way, yeah, if you Yeti Hero Power, you could send your Boulder Fist Ogre to pop the shield on the mini-bot, and you can just take out the dude with your Hero Power. I think that makes the most sense. And Sleeping does agree with me on that one. Okay. Oh, he's also... Oh, yeah, he's gonna drop a Zombie Chow. Interesting. He's trying to give some leeway time. He's trying to offer some protection for his Yeti with that play. That's totally what he's doing. He's dropping the Zombie Chow because he wants Cicada to go for it. He says, you know, have your 5 life, but leave my Yeti alone. So we'll have to see how that one turns out for him. But if you're Cicada at this point, what's a bigger target? Obviously the Yeti is a bigger target than the Zombie Chow. But throwing away next turn, putting your Cult Master on the board, and throwing, if you're Sleeping, putting your Cult Master on the board and throwing away Boulder Fist Ogre and taking your Zombie Chow into a mini-bot is a really good play. This is a tough call here. I think you have to clear out the Yeti. Do everything you can to clear out that Yeti and keep your Spectral Knight alive at this point for Sakata. And that's exactly what he's doing. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with this play. So now he can easily drop both his Antique Healbot and his True Silver Champion if he wants them on the board. It gives him more body presence, which is a good thing. True Silver Champion, there's not a whole lot of point in waiting for it, but I guess, yeah, if you're just going to do a dude play, then that works. Oh! Double Cult Master, double Rainbow.
It's a full rainbow, nice guy.
Oh,
what does it mean, though?
So beautiful.
What does it mean for sleeping? Sleeping.
So do you double Cult Master?
I mean, I think that's the play. I mean,
because you're gonna get, no matter what you do, you're gonna get some cards out of it. Okay. Direwolf Alpha. I think you drop that Direwolf Alpha right in between those two, but apparently not.
No,
well, no,
like
that's not going to really
better.
add any value, I guess, because they're already going to kill anything on the board. Okay, so... Ooh, Spellbreaker top deck. Oh my gosh. Is that what you want to use your Spellbreaker for? I think it is. I really think it is at this point. Spellbreaker, can you cast Prototype? Maybe you can clarify this one for me. Can you cast that armor spare parts on your own Spectral Knight?
No, I don't believe you can.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it's just enemy spells or your own, or all spells. I think it is
all spells.
Oh. Man, this game is getting to quite the grind. I like it. These guys are really just duking it out here.
So who's your pick to win this one, nice guy? I mean,
pick to win it?
Still at
with
full
how
health?
it's going, I think it's Sakata.
Definitely looking good.
Slowly win it out. It's not looking very good for sleeping.
Oh, and especially that play.
Well, that's
Gonna
the
shut
thing,
down
is
that extra
he
card.
really needed that card draw. So I don't know. He's gonna have to pull something serious out to turn this one around, but.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, well, that Spectral Knight is finally going to die now, so that's a bonus for his leaping. But even that Spellbreaker is presenting a lot of damage for him.
It's a good trade, though.
It is, because you definitely want to get rid of a Spectral Knight, you know. Like, those are just hard to get rid of, and Druids don't have a very easy time doing it. They don't have a huge amount of sort of indirect removal for it. Aside from, you know, just slamming creatures into it, of course. Okay, so this is a good play. He's got a good board command here. Sakata can trade his... Well, from Sleeping's previous perspective, Sakata could trade his Spellbreaker and weapon in for that Boulder Fist Ogre, but instead he can just swing to face and freeze. Yeah, this is just looking really, really grim right now. I think you don't attack face. Kind of a tough call. But I think saving it is a good move, because it's very unlikely that Sleeping is going to have some major board clear for this turn. Ooh, and you know what? Hold on. No, he can... Okay, Sleeping doesn't know it, but he is dead. From his perspective, he's able to just slightly squeak his way out of death, but of course, Sakata has that.
Well played.
Wait, no.
And that's game.
Ah, Seal of Light. That's gonna seal it for him. Yeah. Doesn't even need it. Oh man. Yeah, he just kind of inched that one along until he was able to seal victory with it. Well, sometimes that's how it goes. You just don't quite get the tempo you need at the end. I think the real clincher for him was that the silence the Cult Master play. I think that really kind of sealed the deal for him.
Oh,
Okay.
just in time!
Just
So unfortunately, watch the card get destroyed.
Interesting.
Well, that's unfortunate. So that's game AU that we caught. So now we're into the semifinals, nice guy. And I think we're gonna go. We're gonna watch this game here, AW.
Now, is one of them underway already?
Nope, they both pretty much just started.
Is there any chance they're both starting, or are they both going? Is there any way we can hold one of them off, or are we just going to be able to watch one of them?
At this point, I think watching one is sufficient. Actually, I don't think either have started at the moment, so we might...
Because if we can get one to hold off, I mean, there's only 3 games left in this tournament. If one of them wants to hold off, that would be
well, I
fun
think
to watch.
it's fine.
It's up to you, however you guys want to play that one out.
At this point, neither is starting, so it's a mute point.
Yes, we will just kind of have to stand around and wait for that to happen. So.
But I think we're in for a pretty good final here. A lot of these players have beaten a lot of good people to get where they are, so either way, should be pretty good.
So Cicada's the Paladin. We don't know who our Korean friend, what class he's playing. And then down south on the Mislin and Shoma, we have Hunter versus Hunter in that one. So there is a strong Hunter presence in this tournament. As I have been saying all along, pretty hard to say that it has dominated the tournament. Certainly, I mean, there's too many people playing it, but to just say that, yeah, going to be Zoo and Hunter just win the tournament is not really not a fair assessment. The last one that we did that had some rares in it, it was just too close to the Zoo lock capacity for us to really do much about that, and Zulok did fare extremely well in that tournament. It's still a strong deck on the ladder, but in this one, I mean, we're seeing a lot of Hunter, but it's far from dominating the tournament in terms of actual... I shouldn't say far from, but it's not just cleaning up in the tournament. There's plenty of other players faring very, very well. These are 2 really, really strong starting hands, though. Mislin obviously wants to keep that. Shona, I think you trade in your Glaive, Zuka, and Hunter's Mark and try and get some more Death Rattle minions, maybe. Glaive Zuka you could keep. I don't think you want to keep the Hunter's Mark, though. Not super useful in the early game, and you just get the opportunity to get another Death Rattle. But he's just gonna wait, choose his cards by default. Hopefully that doesn't mean that he's
No, I think it's a reasonable choice for him to keep.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't mean he's away from keyboard. If I were Shona right now, I would definitely, no question, Undertaker Coin Clockwork. But I don't think he's sitting at his keyboard right now. I think what he might do instead of Undertaker Coin Clockwork is AFK, go do some stuff, and then Undertaker Coin Clockwork. That's your turn. He clearly was AFK for a minute there. But I mean, that play leads you really nicely into a turn 2 Glaive Zuka. Yeah, so he is going to go right ahead and make that play, I believe. I don't know if he's having technical difficulty. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's been debating
for more of a defensive play.
just about getting rid of the Undertaker because he fears it, as he should. You know, it's really tough to disagree with, especially seeing what's in Mislin's hand. It's really tough to disagree with that play. I mean, that would have been a 3-4 Undertaker, and now he still gets to just, you know, have his own 2-3 Undertaker. I would definitely have to say that I like Shona's play better than my own choice of play.